Hi, my name is Brandon, and I'm an alcoholic and addict in recovery. And today I want to look at an artist and a particular song by this artist that I really like that helped me through some difficult times in my active addiction, and that I also see in a very different way now that I'm in recovery. The artist is an American rapper named Watsky. George Watsky is known for he came to being famous as part of the poetry slam scene, and he is a pretty prolific rapper. He's got several different albums. He most recently made the news for breaking the world record for the longest continuous freestyle rap. He was trying to raise money for COVID relief. And he has this one song off of his album, X Infinity, that's called Talking to Myself. I'm going to read and I will, this is one of those musical moments. I'll never forget where I was the first time I heard this. And I had been listening to his music for a while, but this song just popped up on my music station and it blew me away. It was the right lyrics at the right time for me. And I'll read the first section and talk about it, and then read the last section. The lyrics are: one day you opened up your eyes inside of you, inside a world, inside a universe you didn't get to choose. You didn't get to pick the rules or pick the past or set the pace or cast the cast and crew. You didn't get to pick your starting place. And though it was a race you didn't understand, you simply lined up on the blocks, and when the pistol popped, you ran, and when you tripped and dropped, you picked yourself up off the ground and picked your scabs. You knew you had to pick a plan to end what you began. As you got older, there were days of cold surrender, days of shrugged whatevers folded in with days of shocking splendor. But as time advanced, the lovely days were covered up from view by an advancing melancholy haze that hovered near the dew. That still get chills reading that. And as I was listening to this, I was embroiled in this deep depression. And I was nearing the end of my active addiction, very depressed. And this idea but I had experienced moments of profound beauty in my life. And this idea that, the advancing melancholy haze, that just really connected with me. And for a moment, I felt like I wasn't alone. I felt like there was someone else out there who understood me. And that's why art and artistic expression are so important, because they allow us to connect in a way that we might not be able to connect. And I would say that in part, hearing this song contributed to my willingness to seek some kind of treatment and to recognize that maybe I wasn't the only one who felt the way I felt in life. So he says, I'm going to read that last part again and then finish the verse. It says, as you got older, there were days of cold surrender, days of shrugged whatevers folded in with days of shocking splendor. But as time advanced, the lovely days were covered up from view by an advancing melancholy haze that hovered near the dew. Yet there were moments. There were these pure, arresting moments when you stepped outside your head, outside your pain, outside control, outside the bullshit, out of body, out of rage, outside the need to get it. Get it? You will never get it. That's okay. And that part hit me. It was like a 1-2 punch. That the idea of the advancing melancholy haze, the depression, like I totally identified with that. And then this almost a command where he says, you will never get it. And that was a problem with me. I was always trying to figure things out. And I couldn't accept the fact that I'll never figure it all out. I'll never have the answers to life, the universe, and everything. That's what I was searching for, and that's what was giving me so many problems in life, was I felt like I needed some answer. Why is everything like this? And hearing this made me realize not only maybe it was okay for me to not get that answer, but maybe even the answer I got isn't the only one that there is. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's okay. It's a great, great feeling when I first heard that. I'm going to skip a little bit through the song. The rest of the song is great, but I want to highlight this last part because then it kind of counters the ideas above. He says, ever wonder who's the crazy one? People walk into work as if nothing is off. But if a person really got it, they would be cracking a bottle on somebody's head and looting from shops. Are there times you're alone now when nobody's home, but you walk around muttering under your breath, second guessing shit, saying, God damn it, God damn it, God damn it, just whispering soft? Do you ever get lost deep in your thoughts, tripping when you think about the cost of seeing this through, when you tie your stomach into knots that you don't know how to undo? But do you ever have another moment after that when you can see there's no one way this has to be? Or maybe that's just me. And that last part, that got me, because the idea of first, when he talks about, if a person really got it, they'd be cracking a bottle, looting from shops. If they really got how crazy this world is, if people could really see how I see the world, everything would be chaos. So I understood that part. And then he talks about being at home, talking to yourself and being upset and getting lost in your thoughts and thinking, man, what is life really going to be like if I stay with this to the end? And starting to contemplate whether or not you can actually make it to the end of life naturally. That's something that I identified deeply with at that point. And then talking about being very upset, physically discomforted by that, but then realizing that there's no one way this has to be. It doesn't have to be this way, and it doesn't have to be any particular way. And maybe that rigidity, maybe the idea that life has to be a particular way, is what's keeping me where I'm at the moment. So that these lyrics, they're really profound part of both my active addiction, where I started to question some things, and then as I look at them in recovery, I see them. I look back at the person who heard these lyrics, and it makes me want to shed a tear, because I identified so much with the desperation and the depression, but I am so glad that that I had the willingness to see things through and to come to the other side of things, so that I could see that there is no one way this has to be. There's all sorts of different ways to live life, to enjoy life, to be involved in life, and that if you're willing to explore that, you can see that even though the world is chaotic, it doesn't necessarily mean you need to be out there cracking bottles, looting from shops, like he says in the lyrics. There, you can find beauty underneath the chaos. You can find those moments of splendor, those days of shocking splendor that he mentions. You can find those, and you can find them more often. You just have to be willing to do that. So that's it. I want to take some more time in these videos to talk about some of the art that I feel like has been influential for me in both my life, my mental health, my recovery. And that was who I picked for today. George Watsky. Check him out. Awesome artist. Awesome guy. I'll be back here tomorrow with more.